What's up, everyone? Sam from Softspoken here to break down the lyrics to our song Bones. So I thought it'd be cool to come to you guys with a more in-depth video about the lyrics to our song Bones. Instrumentally, we loved making this song. Loved how it felt like a roller coaster, going from soft to heavy. Super glad I got to showcase some heavy screams too at the end. So hope you guys are enjoying it just as much as we enjoyed making it. This song is kind of about 2020 and all the feelings and emotions that everyone was going through. I didn't necessarily try to pinpoint one certain thing, but I tried to wrap up kind of everything, encompass the whole scope of the world at the time last year, and kind of relay it to what we always preach about in this band, and that's, remaining humble and keeping your mind well. So I thought it'd be cool, dive into these lyrics more in depth. I'm gonna break it line by line. So the first couple lines: how strong is strong? If bones can still break, then anything will. But I heard that even my heart can heal. Just what it says, like anything can heal, anything can break, but anything can heal. And sometimes breaking down is necessary for rebuilding. And failure is never something to look at in a negative way. You can always take your failures and look at them in a positive way, with warm intent and elements of praise. Having good intentions, not gonna let you inside, gave up letting you decide. Only you know what you want out of this life, and only you can go and get it. Because if you're just gonna sit there and expect it to come, it never will. And lo and behold, someone else is gonna go after it. Gonna go after it before you will. It's a competitive world we live in, and I think healthy competition is a good thing. It weeds out who's willing, who's deserving. There's this saying that if you can envision it, the universe will part ways like water. It will just get out of your way. It really will. I've already seen success in my life, like especially when it comes to music. All I've ever wanted to do was hop in a van with my friends and play music, and I've gotten to do exactly that. And it's taken a lot of falling down and getting back up to get there. So these first couple lines are just kind of that recognition in yourself. Brings us to the pre-chorus. Go on, demonstrate to me how normal one should feel while I reconstruct your fear. It's fine to let people come in and tell you what they think, and you need the negatives, you need the positives, of course, but you also need the negatives. Like, you need to hear that stuff, like stuff that's gonna, like, okay, I need to improve on this, or okay, hit me with it, like test my abilities and my confidence with your words. They're just words. Going into more depth here, we get into the chorus. If I'm a sinner and you're so splendid, well, you're wrong in motive and I'm just defective. I kind of pulled inspiration for this. I'm not saying we're a religious band, but we're a spiritual group of guys. And there was a Catholic saint by the name of J.C. Ryle from like the 19th century, and he had this book. I'm gonna pull this up here, that he wrote, Faithfulness and Holiness. And I read this line, and it was the holiest actions of the holiest saint that ever lived are all more or less full of defects and imperfections. They are either wrong in their motive or defective in their performance, and in themselves are nothing more than splendid sins, deserving God's wrath and condemnation. So I thought those were really powerful, and I wanted to use those because, in a way, like 2020, here we are with a bunch of people voicing so many opinions over here, up there, down here. It was just so chaotic. It was a playground for trolls. I mean, it was a playground for a lot of voices and opinions and so many emotions and feelings. And I just thought that, what a great few lines that just kind of explains, like, we're nothing but the same. Not one person knows more than this person. We have no idea. What was this? Socrates, said the wisest of men know that they don't know. So, life is short, and that's why I think that anyone can do what anyone wants to do, given the right amount of work ethic and time put in, the 10,000 hour rule, however you want to define it. But that's kind of where I was with those lines and how I came up with the chorus. So moving on to the second verse, I really liked one of the words I chose here. I try to throw in a big word to make people think I'm smart, but I'm really not, guys. But So selfishly I wait, voraciously my mind wants this space. So in a way, and this is kind of like the selfish side of the person. So selfishly I wait because my mind is so hungry for this space. And in a way, the second verse is kind of about for me it was kind of a little bit about some attitude. Like in this world it's such a fight. At the same time, you do got to stand up for yourself, and yes, it's great to be vulnerable and wear your heart on a sleeve, and just to show your true colors. But let your true colors stand up for themselves. Like, you got to throw some punches sometimes. So I hope you came to race. That's the third line. Because if you're not here, if you're here wasting time just expecting things to fall in your lap, like boom, Joe Schmo over here is boom already like way ahead of you, like, because there are people who are not going to waste time, and they're going to go get what they want, and you're going to be left in the dust, so it's just the hard truth. If you really want something, you've got to put excuses aside, and you've got to go after it. So I hope you came to race, replace my bones to form a coiled spine. And those two lines, kind of, I made a reference, I'm thinking, like, to a snake. Not saying that, like, go out there and trick people and be deceitful, but I guess it's a little dark. I was kind of like being selfish with those lines and like thinking to myself and like like I know I'm good, or I know I've got this, I got the confidence, I have the willpower, I just know in my heart I really want this, like I will I'll do whatever it takes to get it, so pull up to the line, go on, you're first this time, and I just think that's like another like humble aspect. Like it's weird sometimes, like when you're like a badass humble person, like you can be so like familiar with like yourself, like your abilities, but at the same time you can like take a step back and just kind of just watch and like let other people come into the competition, and then you just crush, again, this second verse seems a little dark, seems a little selfish, but that's exactly what it was meant to portray, and not in a bad way, just a healthy competitive way. Like, stand up for your ability, stand up for yourself. Like, if if you're good, you're good. And then we get into the heavy part, my favorite part. So dethrone to grow, visit a place unknown, to strengthen your bones or evil will, raffle off your seat. Kind of is supposed to follow that line, and that's true. Sometimes we, dethrone to grow, like take a step back, like you've been on a high horse sometimes, or you're just thinking, expecting, or you're just constantly like, why isn't this happening to me? Why does this happen to me all the time? Sometimes people have to be broken before they can realize like the hole they need to climb out of. Visit a place unknown, that's kind of like, like break down, like try new things. Because people look at failures like, oh, I'm a failure, I just failed at this. But like some of the most successful people in the world have failed at so many different things. We all know this. Like, no, like I said, no one has got where they got without some form of failure, or like, I don't even care if it happened overnight for them. What happened overnight for them was great, but what led up their whole lives getting to that point was work and failure. And like, I'm telling you, like, people have to work to be successful. You do. To strengthen your bones, try new things. You never know, you're not going to know until you try, and you may stumble upon something that you never realized was in the cards for you, or a part of your pathway. But hey, that's the beauty of your life, because if you don't, like I said, someone else will take it from you. Evil people exist in this world. You've got to be on it, or they will raffle off your seat, kind of how I say here, right below your two-hearted feet. And that line's a little dark too, but in a lighter sense, I kind of also meant like, two-hearted feet, like you're walking two different kinds of paths. Humble your bones, break them to strengthen, and I repeat that again, humble your bones, break them to strengthen. And obviously that's exactly what that means. You gotta humble your bones. You do. You really do in this life. And as many times as failing sucks, and we've definitely failed in this band and I know many other bands are struggling, and they have the desires to just, there's so many people, so many talented musicians out there, and we're some of the lucky ones because we're still doing it after a pandemic, and we're still making music, and we got shows coming up, and we got tours in the future that we're planning. And it could have broken us completely. And it did break us. And there have been breaking moments for us where we thought we were done for. But no, it only made us stronger. And along the way, we realized that you got to be humble about it. You do, because it can end. Things can be different. And we realize we're not going to expect anything. And if Softspoken diminishes tomorrow and it's no more, like, it's not going to kill my bones. It's not going to break them. Like, I'm going to figure out the next move. Chris and Billy will figure out the next move in their lives. And that in itself, like, just having that realization and that strength to be able to face the reality is what's actually keeping it going for us. And the beautiful thing about music and art in general is that it can be perceived in any way. So someone else, you, the listener, the fans, the speakers, you guys read these lyrics, and I'm sure you can find something relatable to them and make it your own as well. If you haven't heard Where the Heart Belongs, you can find the EP on softspokenmusic.com, streaming everywhere. Spotify, give us a follow, Apple Music, Google Play, all the good stuff. We're there. I hope to see you guys soon at a live show. Take care.